Welcome to the Padres Postgame Show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. We'll take a trip down to the manager's office to hear from Mike Shildt. Plus, we'll bring you scores from around Major League Baseball. The Padres Postgame Show starts now on the Padres Radio Network.
2-1, swung on, hit in the air, deep to left field. Teoscar Hernandez back towards the corner, looking up, gonna go! First balcony Western medal. And Luis Campusano, who had an RBI single in the second, adds a home run here in the fourth.
Luis Campusano and the Padres hang 7 runs on future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw and the LA Dodgers as the Padres sweep this mini 2-game series against LA. The final score, the Padres 8 and the Dodgers 1 on this Wednesday here at Petco Park. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we wrap this one up. Welcome into our post-game coverage on the Padres Radio Network. Well, last night the Padres fell behind 5-0. They needed a big-time comeback, a couple of dramatic swings to tie it, the Solano RBI hit in the 10th inning to win it. Today, a very different story. The Padres scoring 4 against Kershaw in the second, scoring 3 more against them in the 4th inning, 1 more run in the 7th inning for good measure, and the Padres behind Dylan Cease and the bullpen both were really good today. They cruised to an 8-1 win against the Dodgers. The Padres, all of a sudden, are just 4.5 games out of first place in the National League West. And with this win here today, they've now won the season series. Don't look now, but we've got a race in the NL West. The Padres have to keep playing well. The Dodgers are not playing well right now whatsoever, but the Padres all of a sudden have momentum, and they are playing like one heck of a ball club. The Padres have won 9 out of 10, and they beat L.A. in 2 straight games here at Petco Park. Jurickson Profar also had a big night, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. I caught up with Jurickson on the field right after this win. Jurickson, the offense scored early. You scored often in this game. That was a future Hall of Famer on the mound in Clayton Kershaw. What was the key offensively early on in this game?
Just keep doing what we've been doing. You know, we've been swinging the bat really good, and the plan was that, you know, just continue to do what we've been doing.
Another great pitching performance from Dylan Cease. From your perspective, what did Dylan do so well today?
Oh, and when he throw quality strikes, you know, he's unhittable. You know, he's almost unhittable when he controls his zone and throw his pitches. He's just nasty.
Jurickson, a big couple of wins against the Dodgers. This team has won 9 of 10. What do you feel like overall this team is doing well right now?
Just playing really good baseball like we're all capable of doing, and it's going to show.
It looks like you guys are having a lot of fun.
Yes, always.
Jurickson, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jurickson Profar down on the field right after the game. A big thank you to Jurickson for joining us. The Padres winning the season series against the Dodgers for the first time since 2010. And again, the Padres now 4.5 games out of first place in the National League West. It's the closest the Padres have been since May 4th. So they have not been this close to the top of the division for a while. The Padres continue to play great baseball in the second half of the season. And today, really a much different game than what we saw yesterday. They cruised in this one. Early offense, a lot of good things to talk about on the pitching side of things, and we will get to all of it here on our post-game show. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. When we come back, we'll have all the radio highlights for you a little bit later, the out-of-town scoreboard, your phone calls, much more to come as the Padres beat the Dodgers here tonight at Petco Park by a final score of 8-1. Our post-game show continues from downtown San Diego after this. A happy night in Padre land. They beat the LA Dodgers 8-1 on this Wednesday here at Petco Park. The Padres have won 9 out of their last 10 games. They have moved to just 4.5 games behind the LA Dodgers for first place in the National League West as they beat them here tonight by a final score of 8-1. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Again, the Padres now 59-51 with the win. Dodgers dropped to 63-46. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a handful of minutes, so stay tuned for that. A lot to talk about from this one as far as the pitching, and we'll get into it, what Dylan Cease did, what the bullpen did. They were great once again for a second consecutive game against this Dodger lineup. The offense, they scored early, they scored often, and this was a nice win, really one that you felt was in hand from the early innings on. And by the way, the Padres, of course, had to face the future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw on the mound for LA tonight. Let's tell you all about this win as we recap it with our game highlights.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
A really good starting pitching matchup tonight. Dylan Cease coming off the no-hitter against Clayton Kershaw, making his second start of 2024. Both pitchers opened the game with a scoreless frame. Cease pitched around an infield single in the top of the second, but then the Padres got to work in the bottom half of the inning. Jackson Merrill hit a one-out single. Ha-Sung Kim walked. Luis Campusano was next.
Runners lead at first and second. 3-2. Merrill runs. Campusano lines it into center field. Base hit. Jackson's going to score easily. Him wheeling around to third base. RBI single, Luis Campusano, and a 1-0 Padre lead.
Like Jesse said, Kim went to third on Campusano's base hit. That set things up for Bryce Johnson.
Kershaw comes set. He'll deliver. Johnson squares the bunt, pushes it back towards the mound. Bobbled by Kershaw, and a suicide squeeze going to work. Kim comes in to score. Might have been a safety squeeze. It was some kind of squeeze, but Kershaw coming in had a pretty good opportunity to make a play at the plate. He bobbled it, unable to pick it up, and the Padres lead it 2-0.
Yeah, it was a well-executed squeeze play from the Padres, although Clayton Kershaw had a real chance to pick up the ball cleanly. He was charged with an error, and the Padres had a 2-0 lead. A wild pitch then got runners to second and third base. That was important because Luis Ariz brought Campusano home with a soft ground out to first. It was 3-0 San Diego. Padres weren't done. Bryce Johnson was on third base for Jurickson Profar.
3-2, golfed into right center field. That's down, and a line drive base hit for Profar. Bryce Johnson comes in to score. 4-0 San Diego in the second.
So a 4-run second frame for the Pods. They were in command early. Dodgers had a rally in the top of the third. Nick Ahmed hit a one-out single. Shohei Ohtani walked against Cease with runners still on first and second. And 2 men away, it was Gavin Lux at the plate.
1-1 to Lux, hit in the air, deep down the right field line. Taking aim for the porch, that's a fair ball. Going to one-hop up against the wall. Ahmed has scored. Ohtani's going to be held. And into second base, an RBI double. Throw gets away on the infield. Manny flips it home. Ohtani's out. Oh, boy. Little bit of a miscue leads to the final out of the inning. Dave Roberts will wait and see if he wants to challenge this play at the plate. But as the throw kind of got loose on the infield, Ohtani decided to try and score. Manny had the whole thing in front of him, went to get it, flipped it home, and from here it looked like they easily tagged Ohtani out.
Yeah, the play would not go under review, but it was pretty clear on the replay. Ohtani was out, just a little over-aggressive on the bases. And by the way, a really nice play by Manny Machado, who had to go get the baseball, then flipped it to home. Nice tag by Campusano. And that was big in this game because the Padres were still leading 4-1, but had Ohtani stayed at third base, Teoscar Hernandez, the cleanup man, would have represented the tying run at home plate. But the Padres still had a 4-1 lead. Fast forward to the bottom half of the fourth inning, it was Kershaw against Luis Campusano.
Here's the 2-1, swung on, hit in the air, deep to left field. Teoscar Hernandez back towards the corner, looking up, gonna go! First balcony, Western Metal. And Luis Campusano, who had an RBI single in the second, adds a home run here in the fourth.
Padres weren't done. Bryce Johnson singled. Luis Ariz reached on an error by Gavin Lux. Jurickson Profar was next.
1-2 pitch, muscled into right field. That's a line drive and a base hit. Johnson rounding third on his way. He's going to score. A rise into third base. RBI single, Jurickson Profar. And a 6-1 Padre lead in the fourth inning.
Like Jesse said, Arise went to third. He came home on a Xander Bogaerts sac fly. That made it 7-1. That was it for Clayton Kershaw. He did not get out of the fourth inning. It was Kershaw's shortest appearance against the Padres since 2015. There was another note on this Kershaw outing that we'll get to in a little bit. Just couple of notes here that were really remarkable tonight for Clayton Kershaw, not in the best of ways. Dylan Cease pitched the scoreless top of the fifth inning. He pitched into the sixth inning, got the first couple of outs. Adrian Morahone finished the frame. Final line for Cease, 5 2/3 innings, 1 earned run given up, 3 hits. He struck out 6, walked 3, 101 pitches. Alec Jacob was really impressive in the seventh inning. He struck out the side. In the bottom half of the seventh, the Padres got more. Against former Padre Brent Honeywell, Xander Bogaerts had a leadoff double to extend his hitting streak. Manny Machado singled to send Bogaerts to third base with 1 out. It was Jackson Merrill.
1-2 again. And Merrill swings, hits it in the air to deep right. Hayward is back. This one is off the top of the wall. Might have hit a fan. They're going to say it's in play. Bogaerts comes in to score. Merrill ends up at second. And now we wait and see.
We would have a review, and on the replay, the ball did hit the very top of the fence, so it was in play. RBI double for Merrill. That made it an 8-1 Padre lead. And then we saw 2 new guys out of the bullpen. Jason Adam, a scoreless 8th inning. Brian Hoeing put on the finishing touch in the 9th.
1-0 pitch. Fiducia swings, hits it in the air to right center field. Merrill is on his way. He will get there to make the catch, and the ball game is over. The Padres sweep the Dodgers with an 8-1 win here tonight. They are 7-3 against LA, and they have won the season series from the Dodgers for the first time since 2010.
How about that? First time since 2010. Remember, the Padres will play 3 more games in LA, but there's no way now that the Dodgers can win this season series. And why is that so important? Well, don't look now. The Padres are 4.5 games behind LA for first place in the NL West. They are within striking distance, and if we get to the end of the season, and let's say the tiebreaker meant something, we needed to go use it to break a tie for the division, something like that, well, the Padres would now have that tiebreaker. Who knows what might happen in the next couple of months. Padres win it 8-1 over the LA Dodgers. Final totals for the Padres: 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. For the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits, and 3 errors. Winning pitcher in this game, Dylan Cease, he's 11-8. Clayton Kershaw gets his first decision of 2024. He drops to 0-1. Kershaw gave up 7 runs, 3 earned in just 3 2/3 innings of work. And you heard the nugget there about the Padres winning the season series against LA for the first time since 2010. How about this nugget? Clayton Kershaw had a streak of 423 regular season starts with at least 1 strikeout that ended today. Kershaw did not have a K in 3 2/3 innings. His streak of 423 regular season starts with at least 1 strikeout, the longest since the mound was moved to its current distance in 1893. And Tom Seaver had 411 regular season starts in a row with 1 strikeout at least. Nolan Ryan had 382, but Kershaw had more than both of those guys at 423 consecutive starts, but that streak came to an end against the Padres here on July 31st, 2024, as he did not strike out anybody in 3 2/3 innings. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park as the Padres win both games against the LA Dodgers. Let's hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, congrats on the mini sweep. Looked like another solid outing for Dylan tonight. What'd you see?
Yeah, no, it's good. Guys played well at both games. Dylan was good. Good life to his fastball. Slaughter was good. Was able to execute when he needed to. did a nice job of getting into the sixth for us. Another quality job by Dylan.
With Kershaw, it seems like when he's going well, he's really able to locate the pitch inside to the righties. It looked like you guys had a pretty good game plan and approach today of when he missed that spot, you guys did damage and didn't try to get too selfish with it. Were you pretty happy with the approach?
Yeah, really pleased with the approach. Obviously a really, really tough pitcher, and, you got to take what he gives you. And guys had a good plan and used the whole field. I love pros at bats, Jackson at bat, big part of the ballparks. Underrated play for me in that game was Campy's read on the ball in the dirt. And that was just a really good baseball play. Got us into second and third. And, we weren't going to go contact there with Campy, but we're in a situation where he can read something. And, man, did a beautiful job of reading it. And, give Bryce some credit on the safety squeeze as well. So, a lot of good small things that led to the victory as well that I appreciated.
Mike, I know that you guys have focused on one game and all that. This was the first time that you guys or the Padres have won a season series against the Dodgers since 2010.
Okay.
Beating a good team like that, taking a season series, is there anything you can draw from that?
Yeah, listen, we're going to look to win every series against every opponent. So, clearly it's a very good, well-established, club over there. We got a lot of respect for them. They do a lot of really good things. They play the game right, and they've won a lot of baseball games. But ultimately it's about how we play, and we're looking to take care of our business.
Similar preface as Kevin's. I know you are looking at it as one at a time, but the calendar's about to turn to August. The division race is as close as it's been since May. How do you view kind of where things stand in the National League West right now?
Yeah, our goals haven't changed at any point during the season. We're looking to win the division. We know it's a tall order, competitive division. So, we're just going about playing, take care of our business, and that's what we'll continue to do. That's what we've done to this point. We'll continue to be together, play the game the right way, do the things that it takes to give yourself the best chance to win baseball games, which we've done very well and expect to continue to do. And that's pitch well. Do the things like we talked about with Campy today, read balls in the dirt, run the bases well, execute our offense. Again, Scan made a point about having a plan. Plan's only as good as execution. Guys really executed well on offense across the board, and, we played really good defense. Manny made a really nice baseball play on that one ball that got in between. Took a run away from him and got him an out, and, Campy made a really nice play on the bunt. So doing more of those things is what we expect.
Was it nice to get two of your new guys into a game, and especially in a kind of a soft landing spot like that?
Yeah, no, it was really nice. It's not the role necessarily for Adam, but he came in and Jason did a really nice job. Loved he just pitched like it was, nothing ball game, as did Hoying, in attack mode, made their pitches. Both were very impressive and clearly great additions.
Housekeeping, Kolek, what was the report on his injury?
Yeah, it's been barking. He's been barking and just hadn't been recovering as well. So we're due for a break for him. He needs to be able to throw without any discomfort and feel like he's been able to execute like he's capable of. So nothing that we feel like is tremendously serious, but it has been something he's been dealing with for a while, and just got to a point where, velocity's still good, but the ball's cutting on him a little bit more. So just want to give him a reset and make sure he's healthy.
Any clarity on the rotation for the next series, or like?
We'll announce it here shortly. We're still working on a few things, but we'll let you know by tomorrow for sure. You need to know.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after a very nice 8-1 win against the LA Dodgers. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. How about the Padres bullpen in this two-game series against LA? Very different games. Yesterday, the Padres bullpen, they just were trying to keep it close, and they did, and they gave the Padres an opportunity to win the game yesterday. 6 scoreless innings out of the bullpen between Matsui, Kolek, Morahone, Gillespie, Estrada, and Suarez. And then here today, it was 3 1/3 combined scoreless innings. Again, very different situation. Padres had a big lead, but you're trying to secure a win. 3 1/3 scoreless innings between Morahone, Jacob, Adam, and Hoeing, and obviously very good to see Adam and Hoeing have very good, very solid Padres debuts in the 8th and the 9th, so that was certainly good to see. We'll see when Tanner Scott makes his Padres debut, but like we said earlier, this was a really clean, nice win for the Padres. Cease wasn't unhittable tonight, but once again, very good. Pitched into the 6th inning, 5 2/3, 1 run given up, and then the offense, 4 runs in the 2nd. They were on Kershaw early. Luis Campusano had a big game, the RBI single to start the scoring in the 2nd. That led to the 4-run 2nd inning, the home run in the 4th inning. You look up and down the lineup. Arise had a base hit, an RBI. Profar had 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Xander Bogaerts extended his hitting streak to 10 games with base hit, double, run scored, RBI in this game. Manny had a couple of hits. Jackson Merrill had a couple of hits in this game, including a single to begin the rally in the 2nd. Luis Campusano, like we said, the 2 hits. Bryce Johnson even had a couple of hits in this game. So good to see real contributions up and down the lineup. And the bottom line right now, really 2 things, like we talked about with Jerks and Profar right after the game. This team is collectively playing really well right now with seemingly a lot of confidence, and they're having a lot of fun. You can see it whether you're listening on the radio. Well, I guess that would be a little hard, but if you're watching on TV, here at the ballpark around this team right now, they're having fun, and they are playing a really good brand of baseball. And again, not to get too over the top, Padres have a lot of business to take care of still, both wild card-wise and beyond. But don't look now. Padres are 4.5 games out of first place in the National League West, and all it would take is to gain another game or 2 in the next, let's say, even couple of weeks, 3 weeks, even the next month. You could pick up another couple of games. This would be a real divisional race. Make no mistake about it. So the Padres, I would say right now at 4.5 out with the tiebreaker, they're in striking distance. But there is an opportunity here, and this is a Dodger team that over the last couple of days didn't overwhelm you with what they're doing right now, with what the bottom half of their lineup looks like right now. Now, they were without both Mookie Betts, who's injured, Freddie Freeman away from the team these last few days, so their lineup is not at full strength. But you look at the bullpen, some of the issues there, you look at the bottom half of the lineup, it is not impossible to make a run and make this an interesting race in the final couple of months. Padres have plenty to worry about just when it comes to the wild card. I think we understand that. But you keep playing the way you're playing, and the Padres may be able to make a run at this thing. They've certainly done a nice job picking up some ground as of late, and hey, they picked up 2 games the last couple of days here at Petco Park. But even beyond that, forgetting about standings and games back, the Padres with a couple of really, really nice wins in the last 24 hours here in downtown San Diego. When we come back, we'll start to get into some of our daily awards. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. If you want to get a phone call in, you can. 833-288-0973. Again, the phone number, 833-288-0973. If you want to chime in, sound off on how the Padres are playing right now. Things are going well. They're rolling right now as they beat the Dodgers 8-1 at Petco Park tonight. Our postgame show continues after this. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres win it 8-1 over the LA Dodgers. They sweep this mini two-game set against the Dodgers. Padres playing really well right now. 59-51 on the year. Dodgers drop to 63-46. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We'll also get through some of our daily awards. If you want to get a phone call in, you can do that at 833-288-0973. Again, 833-288-0973. The phone number to call, the crowd here tonight at Petco Park, 46,997. It was the 34th sellout of the season in this building, and a note passed along by the Padres tonight. The combined two-game attendance for this series against the Dodgers was 94,556. It is a new Petco Park record for a two-game series. Now, the previous two-game series record was earlier this month when they had 82,000 plus in attendance. But my goodness, two games here on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And keep in mind, today's game was at 5:40. I mean, it was an earlier game. Nearly 95,000 people. I mean, look, we've talked about it so often, but the crowds have just been out of this world, really going back now 2-3 seasons, and they continue to sell this place out. It is not just a Dodgers being in town thing. That's something I see on social media sometimes, and that's just incorrect. I mean, this place, it could be a Tuesday against the Oakland A's, and there's a good chance it's going to be sold out. That's how big the crowds have been. That's how electric they have been, and certainly the Padres had a lot to, Padres fans had a lot to cheer about here tonight in the last couple of days as the Padres win it 8-1. We'll get some of your phone calls here in a bit. Again, 833-288-0973. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Our relief pitcher of the game here tonight. I'll tell you what, there are three really good candidates. Number one being Alec Jacob, who pitched a scoreless inning, struck out the side. Jason Adam, 1-2-3 inning in his Padres debut. Brian Hoeing, 1-2-3 inning in his Padres debut. So who do you go with? Do you go with one of the guys making their debut? Do you go with Alec Jacob? To me, it's actually pretty easy tonight. Alec Jacob, he was electric. He really, really was. Struck out the side. Pages Biggio and Kike Hernandez in the seventh inning. This is a young arm. We talked about it the other day when he made his 2024 debut. But Alec Jacob threw 12 pitches in that seventh inning, struck out the side, and you look at what he's done, it's a very small sample size. Over last year when he came up for a little bit, then he got hurt, and now this season, couple of outings. So far combined, he's got 6 innings under his belt, 1 hit allowed in the major leagues. He struck out 12 in 6 innings. And so far, 3 innings of work this season, he struck out 7 and allowed 1 hit and 1 walk. So Alec Jacob, when he's been on the mound in the major leagues, albeit a very small sample size, he's been dominant. Not just good, he's been dominant. And he's getting a ton of swing and miss. So, Alec Jacob tonight, another great outing against a dangerous lineup. You know, I don't care that it was the bottom half of the order for the Dodgers. Alec Jacob is very impressive, and his sidearm slot, for a team that maybe hasn't seen him before, you could really argue that could be a big weapon for this team out of the bullpen. So, again, tip of the cap to Alec Jacob. Really electric, really good here tonight. And he picks up our relief pitcher of the game as the Padres win it 8-1 against the Dodgers. All right, let's get some of your phone calls, 833-288-0973. Let's go to Franklin in Escondido. Franklin, you lead us off tonight here on the Padres postgame show. How are you?
Hey, good, Sammy. Appreciate you taking my call.
You got
Franklin, my friend's nickname's FTD. I just wanted to say that, this team I think they're very special this year. Last year we had the talent, but it didn't seem like the camaraderie was all there. Whatever happened, happened. But this year, they really seem to fight for each other, which I think is important. You can have all the talent in the world, but if they're not fighting, it doesn't matter. And this year it seems different. And then just real quickly, number two, I think what Preller's done with his bullpen now, which we've seen in the last 2 days, to where starter can go 5.5 innings, and that's it, is going to be really good this last third of the season hopefully into the playoffs. And I think we are in a really good position at this moment to make a deep run into the playoffs if we can get there. Mm-hmm. And if not, win the division, which now it's kind of in our grasp. Sort of.
Yeah, look.
But
finish up. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, all right. Franklin calling in from Escondido. Appreciate the call, Franklin, and good to hear from you. Look, the division, like I said earlier, I don't want to get over the top. The Padres have enough to worry about just when it comes to the wild card. But when you're sitting 4.5 games out at the end of July, this thing's far from over. Like I said, you pick up just a couple more games in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, you've got a real divisional race. If you can continue to play well and continue to pick up ground. Now, the Dodgers would have to not play very well. At the same time, they're not playing well right now. The Dodgers are 12-15 in their last 27 games. This is a team that is not playing well right now, and a team that is missing some pieces right now with injuries. So, again, it is not out of the question. I don't want to get over the top with it right now at 4.5 games. But, yeah, you're in striking distance. There's no doubt about it. And, look, we talked about it a little bit last night, and I was on the Padres Roundtable this morning on 97.3 The Fan. There's no doubt that if they can get there, they can be a very dangerous team. And this bullpen could be a major, major weapon if they can get there. They've got to get there, and they've got a long way to go because we've got 2 months left. And just from a wild card perspective, there are 6 very viable teams battling right now for 3 wild card spots, and maybe even more beyond that if somebody outside that group of 6 makes a run. But there's no doubt they are well built for October. I don't think anybody would argue with that. They got to get there, and we'll see how the next couple of months go. They keep playing the way they're playing right now. They're going to get there. I don't know if they can keep up this pace, winning 9 out of every 10, but if they continue to just simply play and fight the way they have in the second half of the season, then I truly believe this is going to be a very successful and fun second half for this baseball team. The Padres are now 9-2 out of the All-Star break. If you're the Padres, you got the Rockies coming in for 3 this weekend. Do not let your foot off the gas. You cannot have another series like the Padres had against the Rockies here earlier this year. Do not take your foot. I think I said keep your foot off the gas. I meant to say take your foot off the gas. Pedal to the metal. You got to keep going, but they are playing very, very encouraging baseball right now, and the last couple of days were really a lot of fun. Let's go to Jamie in San Ysidro. Jamie, you're on the Padres postgame show. What's up?
Sammy Lev, hardest working man in baseball.
I try.
Do not change it, man. You're on fire. I really don't give a flying rat's patootie if we beat the Dodgers in the regular season and finish first. The way the team's playing and how hot we are, I'm not worried at all. I think that the pickups by Preller were great. So we were doing pretty good without those pickups. And now when we get Tatis back, little kick in the butt. That's got bat power, great right fielder. And we have these guys coming in and clutching up like it's never been heard of. From a team who, when we thought at the beginning, when we lost Musgrove and Darvish, we could be in trouble, this is crazy. Unreal, great run, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'll build off your point here, Jamie, and appreciate the phone call. Look, an underrated part of what the Padres could be in the final 2 months, beyond just the trade deadline acquisitions of Adam and Hoeing and Scott and potentially, not potentially, but Martin Perez, who we'll see. It sounded earlier today like he's going to pitch at some point this weekend against the Rockies. Like Mike Shildt said earlier, we'll probably find out the rotation plans for the Padres tomorrow, how they plan to line things up against the Rockies. But, yeah, the fact that they could get Fernando back at some point, the fact that Joe is progressing well, he will, Mike Shildt said, likely pitch on Sunday at one of the team's minor league affiliates. I assume that outing would probably be 3 innings for Joe. 3 innings, I'm not sure the pitch count, but I would assume it'd be somewhere around 3 innings or so. The fact that he continues to progress, and that could set him up to maybe return at a point where he could go 4-ish, 5-ish innings, we'll see. And then beyond that, we'll see what happens with Yu Darvish and his status and his ability to return in 2024. But if you get 2 or all 3 of those guys back, you can view those as trade deadline acquisitions, or I should say more like late season acquisitions. Could end up being a huge deal. So I think we all understand this team is still far from being at full strength. And that's encouraging because they're playing so well and they are not at full strength. So, yeah, you can dream a little bit with the acquisitions at the deadline and who they will get back eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed. Makes you very excited about what they could be and what they could be as a postseason team. They got to get there first. All right, let's step aside. We'll get to some more of your phone calls, 833-288-0973. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Continue to get through our daily awards. The Padres win it 8-1 against the Dodgers here at Petco Park tonight. Postgame show continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Padres win it here on this Wednesday night at Petco Park. The final score, Padres 8 and the Dodgers 1. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as the Padres win this two-game series. They sweep this two-game series from the LA Dodgers. Padres will enjoy an off day tomorrow. They welcome in the Colorado Rockies for the start of a three-game series on Friday. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment as well, and so we'll tell you about our player of the game, play of the game. We'll continue to break down each and every aspect of this 8-1 win. Really just a nice, easy win. Man, you felt like the Padres really needed something like this. Just a nice, easy, well-pitched, good offense kind of win, and they got it, against Clayton Kershaw, who did not look very good here tonight. And, look, I think we all understand Kershaw is not quite the guy he once was. Certainly the velocity is not what it once was, but the Dodgers need him. I mean, they need him to be good. And he was all right his first outing against the Giants. This one did not go well against the Padres. And again, for the first time in forever, in more than 400 consecutive regular season starts, Clayton Kershaw did not record a strikeout in this game, and it was his shortest outing against the Padres since 2015. So he's faced the Padres a ton over the years. His ERA is around 2.2 against the Padres in nearly 50 career starts. I mean, keep in mind, he's been facing the Padres for a long time. This is a guy who's won 3 Cy Young Awards, so the numbers make sense, but the Padres did something to him here tonight they have not done very often in franchise history, and that's hang crooked numbers on him. And again, the Padres got 4 in the second. They got 3 in the fourth inning. They took a 7-1 lead, and they cruised to an 8-1 win here tonight against the Dodgers. Let's go to the phones, 833-288-0973. Let's go to Rancho Bernardo. It's Don. Hi, Don. You're on the Padres postgame show with Sam Levitt. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Sammy. Thanks so much. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, Don. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Off day tomorrow. Maybe I got some pickleball in my future. I cannot complain.
That sounds good. Pickleball. I just want 2 quick thoughts. The first thing, I stopped by to see you tonight, Sammy. I'm not normally on that side of the ballpark. And so I stopped by, so I don't know if you remember. You probably don't, but there was a weird-looking guy that popped his head in. You winked at him. You were super nice, but you were in the middle of your pre-show there, so I didn't want to bother you.
What were you wearing, Don? Let me see if I can remember. What were you wearing?
Yeah, so I would have been wearing the yellow Tatis sweatshirt with a brown hat.
You know what, Don? Come back another time.
A
lot of people wave. You know what? Say hello next time. Come up. You can even whisper to me as I'm talking and say, "Hi, it's Don from Rancho Bernardo." Okay, don't be afraid to come up. I know I have the little on-air sign lit up. That's just to let people know that I'm on the radio. But next time, come say hello and we'll connect.
I sure will. And my other thought was tonight. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. When they put Adam in and then Hoeing in. Obviously I'm brand new to learning about these guys, but it looks like they're pretty high leverage guys with ERAs in the mid-2s, and it was kind of interesting to see them in there at that point of the game. And I was thinking in my mind that Shildt put them in there just to kind of build team camaraderie, get them used to the used to the ballpark, kind of playoff atmosphere every night around here. Just curious what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Don, and appreciate the phone call. I think you're right on it. I mean, yes, it was an 8-1 game. Yes, somebody like a Jason Adams going to be an absolute high-leverage guy out of the bullpen, but he didn't pitch yesterday. I'd have to go look at the last time he pitched, and I'm not going to go do it because I don't think it really matters all that much. They have an off day tomorrow. I totally understood it. Get him in there, get his feet wet. We talk sometimes when guys come up to the major leagues about finding quote-unquote soft landing spots to get them in the game. You can sort of treat that like, you can treat this like that a little bit where, you had a soft landing spot to introduce them to a new team, a new stadium, a new atmosphere, and just get their feet wet a little bit. I think that's what it was, specifically, with Hoeing and Adam. So I thought it was a nice move. Again, they have the off day tomorrow. Quite frankly, Don, if they don't have the off day tomorrow, maybe Hoeing gets in there. I don't know if Adam does, because he's going to be such a high-leverage, night-in, night-out kind of guy. But with the off day tomorrow, I understood it. I quite frankly, I wouldn't have been surprised, and I got to look at when these guys pitched last. If Tanner Scott didn't pitch yesterday, well, he didn't pitch yesterday because he got traded, but if he hadn't pitched in a couple of days, with the off day tomorrow, they had the luxury to do that. So I understood it. I thought it was a nice move. Little soft landing, and with the off day, I think, is the key to being able to use Adam. And look, he's going to be a high leverage guy. Tanner Scott is unbelievable. Go look at his numbers. I mean, this guy has been one of the better left-handed relievers in the game this year and in 2023. Hoeing probably is going to be a bit of a different role, where he's going to be more of a long man, swing man type of guy. But with Adam and Scott, they are going to be high-octane, high-leverage guys. I mean, look, Estrada's been terrific for the most part this year. Morejon's been so good for the most part this year. There's a chance, though, that Adam and Scott are like the top two on the list as far as high-leverage guys. And, again, we'll see how the roles shake out with the bullpen with these new guys. We'll see how, it all goes, and I think it'll be pretty interchangeable, to be honest with you, and they'll find the right lanes for these guys in the late innings. But with Scott and Adam, they are prime-time, high-leverage guys. You're right about that. And, hey, Padres gave up a lot to get those guys, so they better be prime-time, high-leverage guys. All right, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on tonight around the major leagues.
Let's take a trip around the bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
A lot of action around the majors today. We begin with a look at the finals across the major leagues. And in fact, looking here, everything's gone finals. That's good. Let's take a look at the scores. Twins beat the Mets today 8-3 in New York. A 5-run inning for the Twins early in that one as they took command. Marlins beat the Rays 6-2 in Tampa Bay. Jake Berger, a 2-run home run in that one for Miami. Yankees beat the Phillies 6-5 in Philadelphia. DJ LeMahieu, a grand slam and 6 RBIs in that game for the Yanks. Orioles beat the Blue Jays 10-4 in Baltimore. Jackson Holliday's first career home run, a grand slam in that one at Camden Yards. Braves beat the Brewers 6-2 in Milwaukee. Matt Olson, Travis d'Arnaud hit back-to-back home runs in that game. Royals beat the White Sox 10-3 in Chicago earlier today. That is the 17th consecutive loss for the Chicago White Sox, who now sit 27-84 on the year. Unbelievable. 17 losses in a row. Could you imagine being a White Sox fan right now? My goodness. Cardinals beat the Rangers 10-1 in St. Louis. Tommy Pham, a couple more RBIs in that one for the Cards. Diamondbacks beat the Nationals 5-4 in Arizona. Red Sox beat the Mariners 3-2 in 10 at Fenway. Rafael Devers, a home run in that game for the Red Sox. Cubs beat up on the Reds 13-4 in Cincinnati. Astros beat the Pirates 5-4 in Houston. Mauricio Dubon, a go-ahead home run in that game for the Astros. Rockies beat the Angels 2-1 in Anaheim. Brenton Doyle, a home run in that one for Colorado. Giants beat the A's 1-0 in San Francisco. Logan Webb, a complete game shutout in that game against the A's. Not very often we see complete game shutouts. It was a 5-hitter for Logan Webb as the Giants win it 1-0. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Wednesday across the major leagues. We'll have our play of the game coming up after the break, but first let's tell you about tonight's player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Well, a tough one for player of the game because you could really choose from a number of different guys. Profar had a couple of hits, couple of RBIs in this game. Dylan Cease even, 5 2/3, really solid innings. He continues to be great. And we'll talk a little bit more about Cease in our next segment, kind of recap what his last 4 starts have been, because you put the numbers together, they're just unbelievable. But we'll give it to Luis Campusano for a couple of reasons. Number one, had the first run-scoring hit in this game, made it 1-0, got the scoring started, really sparked that 4-run second inning, had the home run against Kershaw in the 4th inning, and I'll tell you what, the Dodgers had made it 4-1. Campusano hits the home run, makes it 5-1, so gets the run back, and then Campusano was great behind the plate just based on what the pitching did. Cease, really solid, bullpen great. Padres gave up 3 hits in this game. So behind the plate, at the plate offensively, really nice night for Luis. And Luis Campusano, our player of the game. When we come back, we'll hear our play of the game. We'll wrap things up with Dylan Cease, kind of update you on what his last 4 starts or so have been by the numbers. And we'll wrap this one up as the Padres beat the LA Dodgers 8-1 in front of a sold-out crowd here at Petco Park. Our post-game show continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. As we wrap this one up, the Padres continue to win baseball games. They beat the LA Dodgers by a final score of 8-1 on this Wednesday. Dylan Cease, another really nice outing in this one. Cease going 5 2/3 innings and 1 earned run given up. He allowed just 3 hits, walked 3, struck out 6 in this game, and put up 101 pitches in this one. And I did want to just kind of go over, as we welcome you back into our post-game coverage, Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building, as the Padres sweep this mini 2-game series against the Dodgers. But just to recap what he's done his last 4 starts, I mean, it's just remarkable. An 0.33 ERA in 27 2/3 innings, 1 earned run given up. He's allowed 5 hits in 27-plus innings. 10 walks, 36 strikeouts, 0.60 batting average against. Again, 27 2/3 innings. He's given up 5 hits. Was he as good as the other 3 starts in this stretch where he went 6 scoreless innings, 1 hit, 7 scoreless innings, 1 hit, a no-hitter his last time out in Washington? No, he was not as good here tonight, but still, 5 2/3, 1 run, big lead to work with. You'll take it, and Dylan Cease will keep on rolling. He has been so good as of late, and the bullpen, again, man, you have to be really excited with what this bullpen may be down the stretch and hopefully into October. They were great here tonight. Alec Jacob, Jason Adam, Brian Hoeing went 9 up, 9 down after Adrian Morahone got the final out of the 6th inning. So it's pretty remarkable, really. They were 10 up, 10 down, the bullpen in this game. That's how good they were, working with a big lead, but hopefully a sign of things to come for this bullpen. The early story, no doubt, the offense from the Padres. They scored 4 runs in the second. Dodgers then made it 4-1, getting a run in the top half of the third. But Luis Campusano stepped to the plate in the 4th inning with the Padres leading 4-1. He was facing the future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw, and Campusano provided tonight's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Here's the 2-1, swung on, hit in the air, deep to left field. Teoscar Hernandez back towards the corner, looking up, gonna go! First balcony Western medal. And Luis Campusano, who had an RBI single in the second, adds a home run here in the 4th.
Luis Campusano, our player of the game, and our play of the game with the home run in the 4th inning. Very nice job by Luis. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, the home run. That was a home run number 7 for Luis Campusano. So nice job by Luis, and the Padres win it 8-1 over the LA Dodgers. By the way, the Padres have passed along their starting rotation for the series against the Colorado Rockies beginning on Friday. It'll be right-hander Randy Vasquez on Friday for the Padres, left-hander Martin Perez on Saturday, and then right now Sunday is TBA, according to what the Padres have passed along here. So that is what it looks like as far as the rotation. Vasquez, Perez, and Sunday right now TBA against Colorado. Taking a look ahead to Friday against the Rockies. Again, right now, scheduled starter, right-hander Randy Vasquez for the Padres. We do not have the scheduled starter yet for Colorado, so stay tuned for that. First pitch on Friday at 6:40. Our pregame coverage at 5:40 on the Padres Radio Network with our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. So again, 5:40 pregame, 6:40 start time, as the Padres will enjoy an off day tomorrow and then return to action on Friday against the Rockies. As always, if you missed any of our post-game coverage, you can go back and tune into all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back and watch any of our post-game coverage on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. And a great way to catch up on any of our post-game coverage there as well. Taking a look at the final totals in this one here tonight. For the Padres, 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left on 8. For the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 errors. They left on 4. Winning pitcher in this game, Dylan Cease, who's now 11-8. Clayton Kershaw takes the loss. He's now 0-1. Time of game, 2 hours and 35 minutes. And the crowd at Petco Park, the 34th sellout of 2024, 46,997. Once again, first pitch on Friday at 6:40, pregame show at 5:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Frank Marchese, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score as the Padres sweep this mini 2-game series against the Dodgers, the San Diego Padres 8 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 1. We'll talk to you on Friday on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.